When you're quilting your quilt by machine, you don't always start at the edge of your quilt. Sometimes you're going to start in the middle, such as this one. I've got the middle log cabin block here that I want to quilt. Now bear in mind that the back of your quilt has to be as beautiful as the front. So you have to remember that that bottom thread needs to be under control. We don't want a big bird's nest on the back. So I've got my machine set up to do just a regular straight stitch. I've threaded it up and I've tested it. Now actually I have decided not to do the straight stitch. I'm going to do the fancy stitch that I really like. Around the log cabin. Now log cabin has a colour change and I'm just going to stitch around, but it's right in the middle of my quilt. So I've got this positioned so that half of my quilt is in this little hole. I'm not at all worried about that, but I am worried about here. And we need to pull that bottom thread up through the work. The reason for that is it's now no idea what's going to happen to it underneath if I start sewing. The machine does object when it starts to make a bird's nest too. It kind of goes. So let's have it under control, have it on the top so that you can deal with it later. You're going to hold the top thread. You start the stitch with the lever arm right at the top. As I say, hold on to this top thread. You're going to do one complete stitch by hand, which means this flywheel comes towards you until this arm comes right to the top. Now some machines have that slightly hidden, but it's doing the same thing. And when you come to the top here, the machine knows that the stitch is finished. And by giving this a little yank, you can see that bottom thread came up. There's a little loop, you just get hold of it, and now you have both threads under control. If you didn't get that first time, that's okay. You can pause the video, you can go back and have another look, but it's really very simple. 2 threads now, under control, back behind my work, and I can start stitching. As I said, I'm going to do this nice fancy stitch that I like. I'm going to stop with my needle down, and I've got a quilting needle in there, and we're just going to go for it. So the other thing I just wanted to show you is you always stop with the needle down before I turn my work. So I'm just going to do this first L. You don't need to watch me do everything else, but we're going to put this nice and flat. I'm not worrying about all of this here. I'm worrying that this is nice and flat on my bed of work. I haven't got it creased underneath, and I can head off in the opposite direction until I get to that point. Needle down, lift the foot, turn, drop the foot, and off we go.